All right, I'm here with Chris Vail. He's a Roosevelt Island resident and a professional photographer. And he's got a new show at the Roosevelt Island RIVAA Gallery where there's going to be an opening reception on Saturday night at 6 p.m. And the show is really photos, really fantastic photos of Roosevelt Island in different forms. So Chris, can you tell us about your exhibit, please?
Yeah, this actually started out when I moved here in 2007. I started taking little photo walks around the island and collecting images. And it was kind of like walking through time, because you have all of these different stages of development of the island represented in the buildings and the spaces here on the island. And so that kind of intrigued me, and I kept doing that. And then during COVID, it all kind of came together when I had a lot of time here on the island, and I was able to sort of think about it and sort of begin to wonder about who's responsible for these places that we have, these buildings, these spaces. There have been so many people who have come here over the years with dreams and ideas of what this island should be, and they left a footprint. And so actually it was kind of interesting because I was finding sort of evidence of the complexity of this just through these footprints that they left behind. And so some of the things here are no longer here. Some of them are brand new. And I just kind of like that trajectory of looking at a place over time of, 16 years or something like that, 14, 15 years.
So what were some of the spots that you photographed?
Well, I would just, it wasn't really spots, but I like to go out in bad weather. There's something about the light and the quality of the image, and you see a space in a different way when it's snowing than when it's sunny or when it's foggy or raining or something like that. And so I would just wander about, and at different times, different parts of the island interested me. I found, I was certainly interested in Four Freedoms once it opened, and found that kind of intriguing, especially in a snowstorm. Then the center of the island, I started photographing that at night. I thought that was kind of interesting, and that was kind of in the springtime, and just seeing what that was like. And then the girl puzzle happened, and just I've kind of just collected over time. And anyone who comes to the show will see things that are familiar and some things that are not. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you have a wall of quotes about Roosevelt Island.
Yeah,
can you tell us something about that as we stroll through the gallery, looking at some of the photographs?
This kind of, this represents some of my digging or research, I guess, with the help of my wife, who's an excellent researcher. We started looking at the writings and the quotes and the things that people said who have been involved in creating our environment, our built environment, and sort of their philosophy. Sometimes they speak directly to the issue of Roosevelt Island. Sometimes it's just their philosophy on space and building and community. So we have quotes that we extracted to sort of give all of these photographs a little bit of context.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got things from of course, from the current architects, Weiss Manfredi, who did Tata, and Thomas Maine, who did Bloomberg, back to Gustav Lindenthal, who was one of the co-designers of the Queensboro Bridge. Interesting man, kind of looking to the future. Of course, Joseph Louis Sert, who built a number of these buildings, built Eastwood and Westview. Frederick Withers, who was actually a mover and a shaker in the Gothic revival movement, and he built Good Shepherd. So we've got a number of people here that are represented on the island.
There was even a prisoner, I think?
There is even a prisoner, Carlos de Fornaro, who was a prisoner here at the Blackwell's Island Penitentiary, and actually wrote a book about it, about his experiences, and he actually was very eloquent and said that sometimes with a clear sky, sometimes in fog, in a snowstorm, in rain, or in clear moonlight, every night for 10 months, I have watched an ever-recurring picturesque metamorphosis.
What year was that?
That was 1917.
1917, okay.
But this actually mirrors what I experience out my window. You know, I have that too, and every day I get up, and I'm just really happy to be in this place. And then I love what Paul Goldberger said. The sky feels big here, bigger than anywhere else in New York. And when I moved here, that was one of the first things that I noticed. It's like how big the sky was and how you felt that you were sort of on this spot, but in a much larger experience, much more larger environmental experience than being, say, in an apartment building in Manhattan, which is where I came from.
So there's also going to be a panel discussion as part of the exhibit?
That's true. On Tuesday, the 8th of October at 7 p.m. here in RIVAA Gallery, we're going to have a discussion with three very notable women here on the island. Gina Polera, who was the managing architect for Four Freedoms Park and actually oversaw that development and had the role of trying to interpret Louis Kahn's vision and have that become a reality, which she did. And then we have Amanda Matthews, who is the sculptor who did the girl puzzle at the north end of the island. And we have former RIVAA CEO Susan Rosenthal, whose idea it was to have a monument to Nellie Bly, which actually came to her in a dream. And that's how it all started, which is kind of appropriate since there are so many people who were dreamers who came here with ideas about what the island should be. It's relevant, I think, that a dream actually spawned the sculpture down at the north end. So that's who's going to be here. Once again, it's Tuesday, October 8th at 7 p.m. here at the RIVAA Gallery.
And how long is the exhibit up for?
The exhibit is up until the 20th of October. Yeah. So,
okay.
Come to the opening reception or any other time when we're here. And
All right. Great. It looks fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.